done messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shane Sharp. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UBK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. He ain't locked in with the count and with the speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Can't do with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Right. Shalom Israel. All right. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai Brakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemaratah B'Shem Yahushai to the sisters. Once again, it's another class. You understand? Lashawan Qadash class held with myself, Officer 1000 Raj Karab. Tuning in every Friday night. You understand? We hold down the Lashawan Qadash class in Chicago, okay? Once again, it's a very important class that we know our language. You understand? And this right here is the Lashawan Qadash class, which is also known as the Holy Tongue. You understand? It's a very important class to know your truth. Not only know the Bible, know some scriptures, but know how to read, speak, you understand, the language and understand it, so on and so forth, okay? So, of course, this is your first time tuning in. You understand? Welcome in. It's time to learn your history, your language, okay? And this is how you take back your culture. You understand? Knowing what you used to, knowing, you understand, the language, you understand, that we had in the beginning. All right, so let's check the comments here. As you come in, do a salute in Hebrew if you could. Like, share, subscribe, and we're going to start off with the alphabet like we always do. All right, let's go ahead and get it. Just to start off, this is the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Qadash, all right, which translates into Holy Tongue. Holy meaning separate, tongue meaning the language, okay? And this was only exclusively for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to speak. You understand? This is something that's something that the Most High gave us. You understand, our own way how to communicate with each other, man. All right. And of course, this is the Hebrew right here. So I'm gonna break this down. This is the la, the sha, the ya, and the na. Then you have the ka, the da, and the sha. All right. So how you would say it, you have the connectors at the bottom. Connectors is only for ancient Hebrew. You understand? Upside down connector, like upside down face. That's a single connector. But anytime you see like a little smiley face connecting two characters, that's two connectors. Okay. Well, those are connectors that connect together, for lack of a better word. Okay. So let's break it down. We got the la, the sha, the na, the ya and the na, the qua and the da and the sha. All right, and together it's la, sha, wan. All right, because the wa, you understand, and the na is together, so it's pronounced la, sha, wan. The la, sha, wan. All right, then you have the ka by itself, or qua, it's like the qua by itself. You have the da, the sha, connected. So all together will be Qadash. Qadash. All right. Also, Hebrew is read from right to left. You understand? Rather than English, left to right, like Spanish, left to right, Russian, left to right. Lashawan Qadash is read right. No, it's like right to left. Okay. Right to left. All right. Maybe confusing, but it's easy. The more you keep studying, the more you understand. All right, now let's go over the alphabet. So these right here, you have the characters right here, all the letters that you see. This is the ancient alphabet up top. So now I'm gonna go over on how you say each and every letter. All right, so you got the ba, ga, da, ha, wa, sa, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, qua, ra, sha, tha. All right, it's pretty easy, pretty simple to go over. All right. Now at the bottom, you have the Assyrian Hebrew language. This is the Assyrian alphabet right at the bottom. All right. Now, the same words you see on top, it's the same way how you say it at the bottom. Okay. So you have the ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, qua, ra, sha, and tha. All right. I recommend that everybody write this down. Go ahead, write it down multiple times so you can know the alphabet. You understand? And know for the Assyrian how to learn the letters and eventually read for the Assyrian. This is very helpful for the Sabbath service. Okay. Now, the only thing with that Assyrian alphabet, we have 5 letters at the bottom. All right. Use these 5 letters if letters above fall at the end of the word. An example will be lakum. Lakum ends with a ma. And if you write it in the Assyrian, you wouldn't write this character. You wouldn't write this letter. You'll write it just like this. All right. That's the same thing for ka. It was at the end of the letter, the ma, the na, the pa, and the taza. All right. Those things you got to remember. But the more you study, the more you study and tune into class, you understand, then you remember, okay, 5 letters, you write them just like this at the end of the word. And then at the bottom, you have the handwriting on how to write that. All right. I'm going to give everybody a second for that. Then we're going to move on to ordinal numbers. Yep, now we move on to ordinal numbers. So I'm going to just go over what we did from last week. That's something I like to do also. And then we're gonna go ahead and graduate to ordinal numbers. Give everybody about 30 seconds. Then we shall move on. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Everybody can see from right here. All right, so this was last week's lesson. We went over 2 to 10. All right, so you went over the 2 to 10. Well, it's like, well, actually, we did 2 for the second 2, then 6 to 10 from last week. All right, so I'm gonna go over it again with the definition. Cardinal numbers are used to represent quantity and are used in counting. Like an example, let me get 1 Bible, 2 swords, 5 oranges, 6 apples, things like that. Those are cardinal numbers in quantity and used in counting. All right, so I'm gonna go over what we did last week, and then we're gonna move on to ordinal numbers. All right. So we got 2. How you say 2 is shanya. All right. 2 is shanya. All right. Then you have the sha, same connector. You got the na and the ya connected. So together it's pronounced shun ya. Shun ya. All right. Then you got 6. And how you say 6 is shasha. All right. 6 is shasha. All right. And then how you will say it, or write it down rather. Same connector with the sha. Same connector with the sha. They don't connect. So you would just pronounce it shasha. All right. Shasha. That's 6. All right. Then you have 7. And how you will say 7 is shabai. All right. That's how you say 7 is shabai. Now how it's broken down, you have the sha by itself, and you have the ba and the I connected. So all together will be shabai. Shabai. That is how you would say the 7. It's like. So number 8, all right. So 8, you have shamana. All right. 8 is shamana. All right. And how it's broken down, you have the sha, same connector. Then you have the ma, same connector. You have the na and the ha, which is connected. All together is shamana. Shamana. All right. That's how you would say 8 in the Hebrew. Right? Don't have a comment. More time, Christ, my Father. Next number is 9. How you would say 9 in Hebrew is the shy. The shy. That's how you say 9. All right. The shy. How's it broken down? You have the sha. Well, it's like the same connector. Then you have the sha and I connected. So all together is the shy. The shy. That's how you say 9. Then you have 10. All right. How you say 10 is Aishara. All right. Aishara. That's how you say 10 in Hebrew. Okay. And how this is broken down. You have the I, same connector, the sha, same connector, and the ra, same connector. So it's Aishara. Aishara. All right. It's pretty simple. Aishara. All right, and we're at the end of the cardinal numbers. So before we erase this, I'm gonna give everybody probably a minute to write this down. Copy it, screenshot it, and then we're on to ordinal numbers. And remind everybody, like, share, and subscribe. So let everybody know that class is live and fully in session. Gotta let our people know our language. Gotta take our language back. It's not gonna be magic just to know it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be like the Matrix. It's like anything you want to get good at and know, you gotta study. All right, you gotta study. Give everybody a couple more seconds, then we're gonna move on. Just a couple more. 5 more seconds. Want to waste the board? All right. Right now, so we completed cardinal numbers. Now we're on ordinal numbers. So let's go ahead and do it. Bear me 1 second as real. All right, let's go ahead and get it on. Now I'm writing down the definition of ordinal numbers so everybody can understand. So it's ordinal numbers. Let's go ahead and write it down first. All right, so boom. Ordinal numbers, the definition of that is ordinal numbers indicate the order or position of something in a series. Oh no. All right, that's better. So ordinal numbers indicate the order or position of something in a series. So let's go ahead and give you an example. So an example will be first, second, and so on and so forth. All right, so that'll be an example of ordinal numbers. First place, give me the first sword. Give me the second seat. You understand? Those are examples of ordinal numbers. And we're going to break it down for you. All right, first, let me get my chart going, make it more easier for everybody to understand. Embrace the example, I have more room. All right. So on this side will be our ordinal numbers. That right there. Then Hebrew. In English letter. All right. Then the Assyrian. I'm going to put the Assyrian right here. And the ancient. All right, so now we have our chart. right, so our first ordinal number, of course, just said it, will be first. Now, how do you say first in Hebrew? All right, let's write it down. You say first in Hebrew is Ra'ashwan. Ra'ashwan. Let's say you say first in Hebrew, Ra'ashwan. Now let's get the Assyrian and then the ancient. All right, now let's get the ancient and break it down. Oh. First is Ra'ashwan. Now let's break it down. First, and how you would say it is Ra'ashwan. All right, now let's break it down into the ancient. We have the Ra, that's a single connector. Then we have the and the Sh. These two are connected, and so with the Wa and the Na, they are connected as well. And how you would say it in all together is Ra-ash-wan. Ra-ash-wan. That's how you say first in Hebrew. All right, let's keep moving. Now let's do second. And of course, this is something that I did do last week. I'm gonna do it again. Right? And how you say second, you already know. It is Shaya. It's like Shanya. Straight. Shanya. That's how you say two. Or it's like a second and also two. Shanya. All right. Let's get the ancient and the Assyrian. Easy. Right, boom. So we got it down. Shania. All right. So how you would say second, it is pronounced Shanya. Shanya. And here's the breakdown. The ancient, you have the Sh by itself, same connector. You have the Na and the Ya. The Na and the Ya are connected. So all together it will be Shanya. All right. Oh, you know what? My mistake. My mistake is real. All right. We got our card. So it's actually the Sh and the Na is connected, and the Ya is by itself. All right. So you get Shun Ya. Shun Ya. All right. That's the correction on that one. And the same thing for the Assyrian. All right. Once again, you may be thinking, if you're new, why don't the Assyrian has connectors? Because the Assyrian is not meant to be read that way. Only the ancient have connectors. All right. It's only in the ancient Hebrew alphabet. All right, so the next one we have, of course, is third. Third. Here's how you say it in the Hebrew. It's a bit of a tongue twister, just to give you a heads up. All right, so how you say third is Yashwan. Yashwan. Right? I'm saying it in the way so you can hear every syllable. So it'll be Yash Ya. Oh, it's like it. Ya. Yash Ya. Right? And then from here on, you're going to hear a lot of the yas at the end of the word. All right? Yash Ya. Now let's go ahead and let's write it down. The Syrian and ancient for Shalayashya. Okay. Make that clear. Oh, there we go. Shalayashya. All right, let's get the breakdown. Once again, how you say third, all right, in the Hebrew is Shalayashya. Shalayashya. Here's the breakdown. You have the Sha by itself. You understand that we have the La by itself. Then we have the Ya and the Sha connected. Then we have the Ya by itself, okay? And all together is Shalayashya. Shalayashya. That's how you say third. Your tongue twister, practice that at home. And how to enunciate it the proper way. Right? So that's third. Shalayashya. Right, let's keep it going. Now let's do fourth. Let's do fourth. All right, I'm on my fourth sword. Let's see how you would say it. Remember, the words are similar correlation to what we did for cardinal numbers, so you might already know this. You might recognize the pattern after a few more numbers. All right. So how you say fourth is Rabbaaya. Rabbaaya. It's like it. That's how you say it. Rabbaaya. Definitely a little bit of a tongue twister. All right. So once again for fourth is Rabbaaya. Rabbaaya. All right. That's how you say fourth. Now let's get it in the Assyrian and ancient. Go. Here we go. So once again, for fourth, Rabba Yaya. All right, so we have it right here. Fourth, Rabba Yaya. Here's the breakdown. You have the Ra by itself. All right. Then you have the Ba, same connector. Then you have the Ya again and the I. So these are connected. And then you have the Ya by itself at the end of the word. So all together will be Rabba Yaya. Rabba Yaya. All right. That's how you correctly break it down for that word in Hebrew. For fourth. All right. So far we got first, second, third. So we got Rasharan, Shaya, Shalayashia, Rabayaya. You understand? So far, so good. Let's do another one. Why not? Let's do fifth. All right. Fifth. In fifth place. All right. How you would say fifth in the Hebrew. Get that more legible. Remember what you did earlier for 1 through 10. So the words are definitely going to be in similar correlation. Just a little bit different because it's in ordinal number. This will be a tongue twister as well. Boom. All right, so fifth, and how you would say it is ka mayashya. Ka mayashya. All right, and that is definitely how you say it in the Hebrew. Yes, now I know it's a little bit of a lot of words, you understand? But the more you practice, the better you get at it. So once again, for fifth, it's ka mayashya. That's how you say fifth in the Hebrew. Ka mayashya. Now, let's break it down. Write it down in the ancient and the Assyrian. Right. Now, let's get the ancient. Oh, there we go. Shalom, shalom, my brother. Glad for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Going over ordinal numbers. Very important. Very important. All right, so let's go over it again. All right, so we have fifth. All right, fifth, and how you would say it is ka mayashya. Ka mayashya. All right, that's how you say fifth. You understand? Let me get my fifth sword. I'm on my fifth Bible, wherever the case it may be. I'm running in fifth place. That's how you would say it. It's ka mayashya. Now let's break it down. So this right here, we have the ka is by itself, same connector. Then we got the ma, same connector. Then we got the ya and the sha. They are connected. All right, which creates yash. All right, that creates yash. Then we have the ya by itself. So all together, how you break it down and say it is ka ma yash ya. Ka ma yash ya. All right, and that is how you say fifth in the Hebrew. All All right. Once again, this is very, very different from your fake Yiddish. You understand? And all that modern day gibberish that the white man speaks. This is how you speak the ancient Hebrew, okay? This is definitely archaeological history. Anything you want to put it, you want to say, hey, well, why y'all do this? Just come to class and ask the question. And we'll just give you the answer, okay? All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it off on that. For time's sake, but once again, I'll go over each ordinal number again. Let's go over the definition again. So we have ordinal numbers, okay? And the breakdown on that is it indicates the order or position of something in a series. So of course, everybody knows like a race. I'm in first place, somebody else is in second place. You understand? Somebody else may be a third. You understand? Indicates the order or position. You understand? All right, first row, second row, third row. You understand? Things like that. Position or something in the series. My first book, I just got done writing my 5th book. That's a series, okay? Now let's go over it again. So we have first. How you would say first is Ra'ashwan. All right. First is Ra'ashwan. Break down again. You got the Ra, same connector, the and the Sha connected. You have the Ya and the Na connected as well. All together is Ra'ashwan. Ra'ashwan. That's how you say first. All right. Then you got second. Second is Shanya. That's how you say second. Shanya. All right. Then you have the Sha right here and the Na. They are connected. And then you have the Ya by itself. All together will be Shanya. Shanya. All right. Then you have third place. Once again, a little bit of a tongue twister. How you say third, you understand third, rather, is Shalayashya. Shalayashya. That's how you say third, all right? And it's the breakdown. You have the Sha, the La, both still connectors. Then you have the Ya and the Sha connected. Then you have the Ya by itself. All together, Shalayashya. Shalayashya. All right. So we got fourth, and how you'll say it is Rabbayaya. Rabbayaya. That's how you say fourth. Break down, you have the Ra by itself, the Ba by itself, you have the Ya and the I connected, and then you have the Ya by itself as well. All right. All together, Rabbayaya. All right. Rabbayaya. That's how you say fourth in Hebrew. Last but not least, you have fifth. All right. Fifth. And how you will say it is Kama Yashia. Kama Yashia. All right. Kama Yashia. That's how you say fifth. Now the breakdown, you have the Ka by itself. You have the Ma by itself. You have the Ya and the Sha connected. Then you have the Ya by itself. All right. So I'm gonna bring out again. Realize there's a pattern. Ya, 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 ya. So it's a ya at the end, except for first. First is one, and pretty much any other. You understand? Order of numbers, second, third, fourth. Shanya, Shalayashya, Rabahaya, Kamayashya, all end with yas. All right. Once you remember that. All right. So I'm gonna go over it again. Ka by itself, ma by itself, the ya, the sha connected, then you have the ya by itself. How you would say it is ka, ma, yash, ya. Ka, ma, yash, ya. Right. So that's the first 5 or the ordinal numbers, okay? Get a screenshot in. That'll be a wonderful idea for you to do to study. Screenshot, practice it at home. Just say it at home. Let me get my first book. You understand? Lashawan, Shanya, Shalayashya, Rabbayaya, Kamayashia. All right, so this is the first 5. Next week, we're going to do 5 more. All right, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then we're going to do 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. All right, everybody, a couple more seconds before you move on. Actually, I'm going to leave this on the board for everybody because we always go over it for next week class. All right, so that is real. It's about that time. So once again, I'm almost for a 1,000 Rosh Karab, holding down the Lashawan Qadash class in Isupk Chicago every Friday night, Lord allow. But it don't stop there. You understand? Stay on this channel. We have the Round Table of Truth. You understand? Round Table of Truth is after every Lashawan Qadash class. We encourage everybody to tune in and lock in. Get a breakdown on these events that's happening in the world that you may not know about. You understand? This is where the priests and prophets give you the breakdown, do, biggest top, the latest topics and events, you understand, held by Captain of 13,000, Midwest Monster Mayhem, Cameron Quad, man. And his heavy hitting crew, but the rest of the captains in Chicago, man. So with that, Israel, we're going to leave it off on that. All right. And shalom, that's my time.